Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, Counter Spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Comedy this hour, Ann Sothern in the motion picture character she played extensively, The Adventures of Maisie. This episode from the syndicated series was originally broadcast May 3rd, 1951, as Maisie becomes a social director.
Hiya, babe. Say, how about a little... Ouch!
Does that answer your question, buddy?
The Adventures of Maisie, starring Ann Sothern. You all remember Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer's famous Maisie pictures. In just a moment, you'll hear Maisie in radio, starring the same glamorous star you all went to see and loved on the screen, Ann Sothern. And now here's Ann Sothern as Maisie.
Yep, I'm Maisie, like the man said. Maisie Revere of Brooklyn. But right now, I'm Maisie Revere of the Saltwater Hotel in Florida, where I'm known as Why Doesn't Room 380 Pay Your Bill and Get Out. I got here with a guy who had a mind-reading act and was known as Shangdula the Great, or if you knew him before, Max Gubernick. Well, I got questions from the audience and kept their eyes busy while Max palmed the questions and read them. The act went fine. Max read everybody's minds and found out they were all wonderful people. They loved that, thought he was great. Then he read my mind and found out what I was thinking about him and what his chances were, and I was out of a job. However, I stayed down at the hotel. I wanted to eat, and finally today, the assistant manager, a nice guy named Jim Thorndike, knocked on my door. Gee, I better not take any chances. Who is it? I'm busy in here.
It's Jim Thorndike, Maisie, the assistant manager.
Oh, well, Miss Revere just left down the fire escape, Mr. Thorndike. You better hurry down if you want to head her off at the gate.
Hey, now, wait a minute. Who are you?
I'm Carrie, the chambermaid.
No, you aren't. I just passed Carrie in the hall.
Well, bust my buttons, y'all trapped me. I'm Carrie's twin sister. I'm helping her out today.
Well, in that case, I'm not really Jim Thorndike. I'm his twin brother, and I'm not mad at Miss Revere. Open the door, Carrie's twin sister.
Oh, I guess I can't fool you, Mr. Thorndike.
Oh, now, Maisie, I thought you were going to call me Jim.
Oh, sure, Mr. Thorndike. I mean, Jim.
Well, you haven't forgotten what happened the other night when we went walking in the moonlight, have you?
Oh, no. I hope the scratches are all healed up now.
Oh, I didn't mean that. I mean, what happened just before.
Yeah, I remember. You kissed me.
Oh, Maisie, I couldn't help myself. As soon as I put my arms around you, my blood turned to fire. My heart started pounding away madly, and I...
Let's not reenact the crime right now, huh?
Oh, now, why not, Maisie? I'm crazy about you.
Oh, please, not now, Jim. Maybe you'd better throw me out of the hotel.
Oh, I couldn't.
Can I count on that?
Yes, but Mr. Grimshaw, the manager, would be delighted to throw you out. Maisie, you did write for some money from your friends in Brooklyn, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I heard from them today.
Oh, what did they say?
They wanted me to send them $50.
You mean they didn't send you anything at all?
No. Well, that's the way life is, I guess. They always kick you when you're down. Of course, my friends kick me when I'm up, too.
Oh, now, Maisie, what are we going to do about the bill?
Well, I think you'd better throw me out, Jim. I'll hike down the road and move into Mother Mulligan's Stop and Flop.
No, Maisie, no. I can't let you do that.
Oh, who is it?
It's Mr. Grimshaw, Miss Revere. Is Mr. Thorndike in there?
No. Tell him no, Maisie, no.
Stop prompting her, Thorndike. Let Miss Revere do her own lying.
Well, that ripped it. Hello, Mr. Grimshaw. You look happy. What's wrong?
Hello, Miss Revere. Oh, hello there, Thorndike. I thought I'd find you under the bed checking on the fuzzball.
No, sir.
Here he is, Thorndike. Here he is.
Yes, sir.
Miss Revere, you do seem to be something of a problem child here. You owe us money, thanks to Mr. Thorndyke's inability to refuse credit to any good-looking chick who flips her eyelashes at him.
Mr. Grimshaw, if you feel that I in any way have impugned the reputation I have established...
Oh, for heaven's sakes, Thorndyke, don't get huffy. I couldn't bear it.
Well, I'll be responsible for any credit I've extended.
No, I'll take care of it somehow.
You responsible, Thorndyke?
Yes.
The way the books stand now, you're a credit risk yourself. I had another idea, Miss Revere.
Well, that idea's out.
Yes.
What's the second idea? I can wash dishes, wait on tables, or stuff fish for the fishermen. What sort of deviltry did you have in mind?
Miss Revere, I admire you. You seem to sense that I have something up my sleeve. Do you know what it is?
Could it be a handkerchief?
No, it couldn't. That will do, Thorndyke. Miss Revere, the Saltwater Hotel could throw you out on your ear right now, but it would lose the money it's wasted on you. Therefore, I am making you the social director as of now.
Social director?
Yes. You'll try to keep everybody happy. Keep them from realizing that the only thing that's any good around here is Pierre's wonderful food. Also, if there are any people to ease out of the hotel, you'll do those nasty little jobs, too.
Oh.
Any questions, Miss Revere?
Well, yes. If I'm going to be an executive, how about moving me out of this tiny little room? Every time I nod my head, the window goes up and down.
Oh, I think this is just peachy for you, Miss Revere.
Oh.
You're working off your indebtedness as social director here, and as far as I'm concerned, the sooner the quicker.
Well, couldn't I at least have a softer pillow? This one here's giving me a cauliflower ear.
It looks fine to me.
Try to lift it.
No, thank you. Now get busy, Miss Revere. I'm expecting a lot from you. And if I have any difficulties with you, I'll fire Mr. Thorndyke and then call in the police.
Thank you for your confidence in me.
I'll do it, too. Take over, Thorndyke, and watch your step.
Yes, sir. What a tough character.
Well, what's my first assignment, Jim? I might as well get started.
Well, Maisie, we've got one big problem in the Saltwater Hotel.
Oh?
She eats like a horse. She made herself the social leader here, and she complains about everything. She's richer than anybody, and her name is Hortense Popinjay.
Well, just leave it to me, Jim. I'll get rid of that problem. Can I borrow one of the bellboys if I need one?
Oh, you sure can, Maisie. And, Maisie, please keep Pierre the chef happy. He's very important.
Now, don't worry, Jim. I've never been a social director of a fancy resort hotel before, but I think I'm going to be the best one you ever had here at the Saltwater.
Oh, I'm sure you will be.
What makes you so sure?
Well, we've never had a social director here before.
Oh. Oh, Sydney.
Oh, hello, Maisie. Oh, gee, you look lovely.
Well, thanks, Sydney. How's summer school coming along?
Oh, summer school's swell. I'm studying like mad. I'm going to be a doctor someday, you'll see.
Well, good for you, Sydney.
Gee, I hope when I get a little older, I'll be able to afford a girl like you. Wow.
Well, now, okay, Sydney, that's enough panting. You're singeing the rickrack on my blouse.
Well, gee, Maisie, I can't help myself. What did you want me for? Whatever it is, I am your slave.
Oh, well, what floor is Mrs. Popinjay on?
Oh, this one right here. What did you want her for?
Well, I don't know whether you've heard, but I'm the social director of the Saltwater Hotel. And my first job is to get rid of Mrs. Popinjay.
No kidding.
I guess she's annoyed everybody in the hotel, hasn't she?
Oh, yeah, she has. She's very fussy about her food, and she thinks she's a member of high society.
Well, wait till she meets her Grace, the Duchess of Grunion.
Gee, is she here at the Saltwater Hotel? Where is she?
You're looking right at her.
Huh?
Now, I want you to knock on Mrs. Popinjay's door and announce me.
Oh, I get it. Yeah, it'll be a pleasure. Your Grace?
I'll embarrass her into leaving. Oh, and quick, Sydney, loan me two $20 bills. I'll give them right back to you.
20? Oh, yeah, here you are. And don't you worry about it. I'd love to have you in my clutches.
Come in.
Mrs. Popinjay, arise. You are being visited by the Duchess of Grunion.
Ooh, a duchess?
How do you do, my dear Mrs. Popinjay? I am Lady Dorothy Beaverdam, Duchess of Grunion. Oh, here you are, dear lad.
Oh, a $20 bill. Thank you, Your Grace.
It isn't necessary to lick my hand. Now, do be a good chap and bring me any cables or messages that come for me, won't you?
Oh, certainly.
Yeah, well, you'll pardon my barging in on you like this, old dear, but I heard you used to be the social arbiter of the hotel. I thought I ought to drop in and see you off.
See me off? But I'm not leaving.
Oh, well, surely you aren't going to say after I've tipped you off the throne. The humiliation would be frightful, old girl.
Oh, now see here, Duchess.
Bow when you say that.
Oh.
Surely you observe the common niceties, Mrs. Poppinger.
Well, perhaps I should, but I don't...
Bow a little lower, if you please. I'm a very high duchess, you know.
Yes, oh...
Lower. Lower.
Oh, help! Oh.
Now, see here, old frog, you can't make a mockery of our British customs like that. Stop rolling around on the floor.
I can't get up.
Well, rock a little harder. Now, you are a butterball, aren't you? Oh, here, I'll help you up. Good heavens. I do believe your girdle gave up the ghost. As we say in merry old England, ripping, eh, what?
Oh, this is ghastly.
Well, I will say you spread out a bit. Oh, do pardon me, it is a bit ludicrous, you know. Oh, come in.
Oh, beg pardon, Your Grace, but there was a cablegram for you. The Sultan of the... Oh, Mrs. Poppinger, what happened to you?
Never mind. And keep your eyes the other way.
Oh, to be sure. The Sultan of Afghanistan wonders if you would spend next Thanksgiving with him and his wives. Here you are.
Oh, he really is a dear old thing. He signed it, Love from Jean, Hey Dave, Juanita, Dagmar, Ingrid, Fifi, Rita, Dolores, Tallulah, and me, Sam. Here you are, laddie.
Another $20. Thank you.
And there's lots more where that came from.
Don't be too sure. Are you leaving, Your Grace?
She certainly is, and I'm leaving this hotel. I won't stand for this kind of treatment.
Bully for you, Poppinger. That's the old spirit of 76. Go down to the desk right now and demand your independence.
Don't think I won't. Give me the manager and tell him to put on his asbestos earmuffs. I've got things to say that'll go right through him and fry his hair.
Maisie, you were sensational.
Yeah, I do that bit rather well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, just keep that $40 in tips.
Oh, gee, I never had so much fun with my own money before.
Well, now I'm going down to the manager's office and get a little applause.
Oh, Thorndyke, the things that horrible woman called me. The vile names, the odious comparisons. The reflections she made on my dear old grandfather and grandmother.
Oh, no, there, Mr. Grimshaw. There's always at least one troublemaker in every hotel.
Yeah, I can't imagine what happened up there in Mrs. Poppinger's room. She said something about some English duchess who insulted her.
But there's no English duchess here.
You come in.
How do you do, old chaps? Would you mind awfully dredging up a hot pot of free tea for the Duchess of Grunion?
Oh, no.
Maisie, it was you.
Uh-huh. I promised you I'd get rid of that problem, and I did. Mrs. Poppinger's leaving, thanks to me.
Maisie, our problem was keeping her happy, not getting rid of her.
And if she goes, we'll all be fired. She has the most expensive suite of rooms here, and she has plenty of wealthy friends who'll leave with her.
Now, wait. Don't give up. I'm going to try a wonderful idea out of Mrs. Poppinger. Maybe I can keep her here.
Well, what's the idea?
Well, jeepers. I haven't thought of it yet.
May 3rd, 1951, The Adventures of Maisie on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, more of The Adventures of Maisie starring Ann Sothern, May 3rd, 1951.
And now back to Maisie.
Oh, Sidney.
Hello, Maisie.
Well, thanks, Sidney, but we've got no time for comedy.
What comedy? I'm not whistling at you. I'm paging Mrs. Poppinjay's dog.
Oh. Well, what's been going on in Mrs. Poppinjay's room?
Are you insinuating that I had my ear to the keyhole of her room?
Yes, and I can prove it. The key is still sticking in your ear.
Oh, excuse me.
Now, what's going on in there?
She's packing and getting ready to leave, but she's going to have lunch first. She's crazy about food, you know.
Yeah, I'm counting on that. Well, here goes nothing.
Come in.
Congratulations, Mrs. Poppinjay.
Oh, so it's you again. Let me tell you something, you blonde-headed little... congratulations on what?
Well, when I was here before, I was giving you sort of a secret test for the lead in our little theater production. To see what your reactions were, you know.
Me?
Uh-huh. I'm the, social director, Miss Revere.
The Duchess of Grunion, eh? I thought there was something fishy about it.
My dear Mrs. Poppinjay, I may call you Mrs. Poppinjay, mayn't I?
Oh, well,
You were simply wonderful. What a performance. I thought you were actually angry. Who did you study under? How long were you in the theater?
Well, I did a few small things in the high school dramatic group.
Oh, well then, Mrs. Poppinjay, you will stay at the hotel and help us put on a play, won't you?
Stay here?
Uh-huh.
Oh, my dear child, I can't now. I've already wired the owner of the hotel and told him what I thought of the management.
Oh, no. No, you didn't do that.
Western Union refused to send 4 whole lines of the telegram. The only thing I do like about the Saltwater Hotel is the food. Oh, that's wonderful.
Well, Mrs. Poppinjay, do you know why the food seems so wonderful to you?
Because it tastes good?
Oh, no, there's more than that to it. Can't you feel that each dish you order has been given special attention?
Well, I thought
that
so.
Someone in his own quiet way has been trying to say, I love you, with every order of stuffed cabbage and every bowl of turtle soup.
What's this?
Yes, Mrs. Poppinjay.
Uh-huh.
Your dinner may just be dinner to you, but a very handsome, distinguished-looking man sees in it a way of sending you his love in the mashed potatoes and his undying adoration in the cream spinach.
Love? Oh, Miss Revere, are you trying to say that the chef is in love with me?
Yes, madly.
Oh, how exciting. Oh, my. And to think I've been eating his love letters and never even realized it. Well, I will stay on a few more days, perhaps.
Oh, I'm sure you'll be very happy you did. I'll see you later.
Oh, I wonder what his love letter will be like. Good night.
Psst, Maisie.
Oh, Jim, I've just fixed it up. Mrs. Poppinjay isn't going to leave after all.
I was listening at the door. Maisie, you might as well know it right now. Pierre, our chef, hates Mrs. Poppinjay worse than oleomargarine.
Oh. Oh, but Pierre, you've never even seen her. Can't you even pretend you're secretly in love with her?
Miss Revere, I'm a Frenchman. And when a Frenchman makes love, it is no secret. You don't believe it? Just step into the vegetable room with me for a few minutes.
Oh, well, I don't doubt you for a moment. But what's wrong with her?
Miss Revere, I'm also an artist with food. I can fix a can of dog food, so it is fit for a king.
Pierre, please.
What did you have for lunch?
Meatballs.
Who knows? But, Miss Revere, when I fixed a lovely, tempting menu, and when Mrs. Poppinjay sees it, what happens? Instead of the shrimp cocktail, she wants oysters. Instead of the tomato soup, vichyssoise. Instead of the Long Island duckling, breast of Guinean, sous cloche. Always substitutions. And if she comes in here, I will substitute my lovely sweet disposition and chop her into cutlets with this.
Well, I've been a waitress, Pierre, and I know just how you feel.
Did you wash the lettuce, Claude?
Oui, Pierre, even with soap.
Bon. Yes, this Mrs. Poppinjay is always upsetting me, and I must be happy to do my best. Like now, I must put in a pinch of salt, so, a pinch of pepper, so, A pinch of garlic, a pinch of cloves, and a pinch...
Ouch, Pierre.
Pardonnez-moi.
Oh, there's Pierre talking to Maisie.
Oh, yes. Mrs. Poppingay's coming down here right now. She wants to meet Pierre.
Oh, no.
I'm Mr. Cleaver. I'll call the police.
Quick! Grab him and take him into the vegetable room before he commits premeditated hamburger on Mrs. Poppingay.
No, let go of me.
I've got him.
Right in here, hurry, and put something in his mouth to gag him.
Right this way, please.
Oh, well, I just wanted to look over the kitchens, you know.
May 3rd, 1951, Ann Sothern in The Adventures of Maisie on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Classic Radio Theater family, you know our friend Mike Lindell has a passion to help everyone get the best sleep of your life. He didn't stop by just creating the best pillow. He created the best bed sheets ever. They look and feel great, which means an even better night's sleep for me, because, you know, I'm working like 67 hours a day. Now, Mike's offering the best deal on his Giza Dreams bed sheets ever. You can get a set of Giza sheets for as low as $29.98. You'll never want to sleep on anything else once you slept on a set of Giza Dream sheets. A special offer for you right now. You can get a set of Giza sheets for as low as $29.98. Call 1-800-928-4715. Use the promo code Wyatt. Or go to mypillow.com, use the promo code Wyatt. It's good on anything on the website. That number again, 1-800-928-4715. Use my promo code Wyatt. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite station. Ann Sothern did a lot of motion pictures, including 10 films where she portrayed Maisie. And she also portrayed Maisie twice on radio. A CBS a series from 45 to 47, and this series that you're hearing here. Alrighty, we want to mention also that she went to television. She starred in a number of shows, including Private Secretary, The Ann Sothern Show, and sort of a starring role. Her voice was used in the sitcom My Mother the Car. Let's continue with the conclusion of The Adventures of Maisie, May 3rd, 1951.
Oh, I love the food here. It's simply exquisite. And I've been all over the world and lots of other places, too. Oh, Miss Revere.
Oh, hello, Mrs. Poppingay.
Well, what are you doing here?
Well, I'm just trying to keep accidents from happening to people. Accident Prevention Week, you know.
Really? What could happen to anybody down here?
Oh, anybody could get her throat cut.
Run along, Sidney, or I'll smudge up your brass buttons.
I'll be good.
Well, Mrs. Poppingay, you could get your hand badly hurt if it went through the meat grinder.
But how could my hand get in there in the first place?
Very easy if somebody forced it.
Oh, dear child. Now, tell me, where is that wonderful chef? Where is the genius who creates the marvelous food we have?
Oh, well, just at the moment he's meditating.
Oh?
He's thinking about something he'd like to cut up.
Splendid! I wonder if he realizes that I am the one who ordered both the chicken tetrazzini and the beef grenadine last night.
Oh, I'm sure he does.
Oh, my. What was that?
Just the mice.
Yeah, you see, they do so well on Pierre's food that they grow to the size of Cocker Spaniels.
Well, I think I'll be running along then.
Yeah.
Do tell Pierre that I was here to compliment him.
Oh, I will.
You follow me, Mrs. Poppingay.
Well, we just made connections that time.
Now, Pierre, promise not to blow your beret.
It's all right. I will be quiet.
Oh, that was a narrow squeak. Has she gone all right?
Yes. Did you hear what she said, Pierre? She's eaten her way all around the world, and she thinks your food is the best.
Well, she's right, of course, but it's nice of her to say it.
She called you a genius, too. Of course, she may be wrong there.
It's a matter of opinion.
No. She sounded like a very intelligent woman.
And she had 2 of your dinners last night.
Intelligent and delightfully plump. I wonder if she speaks French.
Well, just as long as she knows how to say yes, that's enough. I hear that in France hardly anyone ever says no.
Miss Revere, you are the social director, n'est-ce pas?
Yes.
I wonder if you would arrange for me to meet this charming woman.
Oh, I would be delighted to. I'll have a carriage ready for the 2 of you at 9 o'clock tonight. You know, she's rich, too.
Rich, too?
You don't know it yet, Pierre, but you're in love. Goodbye. Have a nice ride. Thank you.
Au revoir.
Well, Maisie, I wonder how it'll work out.
Well, they'll have plenty of time to get to know each other. The carriage driver is as deaf as a post. Who is it?
Jim Thorndike.
Oh, hello, Jim. Come on in, I'm just packing.
Oh, thanks. Maisie, do you really have to leave?
Oh, yeah, Jim. My agent just wired he's got me a job as a shill for a Ferris wheel.
Oh.
It's not much of a job, but it's show business, and that's where I belong.
Well, couldn't you stick around, Maisie, and see if you couldn't get to like me, a little better?
Oh, well, thanks, handsome, but I gotta be on my way. Who is it?
It's me, Grimshaw.
Oh, I'm not here.
For heaven's sakes, Thorndike, if you can't whisper quietly, write things out on a piece of paper.
Hello, Mr. Grimshaw. How are you today?
I'm in a foul mood, thank you. What's this? All packed? You're not leaving us, Miss Revere. And you'll notice that's not in the form of a question. It's a statement.
What's the matter now?
You've got to break up that romance between Pierre and Mrs. Popinjay. She's bought the hotel across the street for him, and they're going to run us out of business.
Goodbye, fellas. This is where I came in.
You come back here. You've ruined us. Stop her!
Now, once again, here's Maisie.
Well, Mrs. Popinjay and Pierre got married, and Jim wanted me to make it a double wedding. But I told him my boyfriend in Brooklyn wouldn't like being engaged to a married woman. He and Mr. Grimshaw got fired for letting Pierre get away from the hotel. But they got jobs at the hotel Mrs. Popinjay bought for Pierre to run. And everybody's happy. Everybody except me, of course. When I got to the Ferris wheel job, it was taken, and I ended up as a ticket jockey on a merry-go-round. I managed to fill it with grown men, but the kids are complaining to the management, and I guess they'll have to get a chance to say they went around with Maisie Revere, too. Well, come on, Feet. You gotta find Maisie a job that isn't such a vicious circle. Let's get going.
You've just heard The Adventures of Maisie, starring Ann Sothern. Maisie was written by John L. Green. Original music was composed and conducted by Harry Zimmerman. Supporting cast included Lorene Tuttle, Peter Leeds, Sidney Miller, Frank Nelson, and Hans Conried. Jack McCoy speaking.
May 3rd, 1951, The Adventures of Maisie on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now, thanks to our friend Ted over at RadioMemories.com, we have another episode of Lum and Abner. This one from May 3rd, 1945. There's a mysterious box that they don't quite know what might be in it.
Greetings, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
Dog Islam, I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, Jot Em Down Store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, as we look in on the little community today, we find the old fellows each in his half of the Jot Em Down Store. Grandpappy Spears is just entering. Listen.
Well, howdy, Grandpap. Come on in.
Well, howdy, Lum. Howdy. For the Lord me sakes, what's happening here anyway? You fellers went and divided up the store again?
Yeah, I'm feared so,
You ought
Grandpap.
to get a square deal, high-class merchandise. You better come over on this side of the store, Grandpap.
No, I don't want to get mixed up in this. What's the ruckus about this time, Lum? Oh, I forget now, Grandpap. There's so many things I can't recollect just which one it was that we divided up the store over.
It's going to stay that way, too, Grandpap. Better come over here and deal with old Honest Abner. He'll give you the squarest deal you can get in this store.
No, if you're aiming to buy something, Grandpap, you'll do a heap better right here where you're at. His prices might be a little lower than mine, but I got better merchandise. Hell, I never wanted to buy nothing. I just wanted to ask you something about the schoolhouse. Schoolhouse? Yeah. I could have swore I seen old Maud Tupps with a stack of books on her arm going into the schoolhouse this morning. Is she teaching over there again? Oh, just a few days is all. See, Miss Emmeline had to go to Hot Springs for a state teachers meeting. I never knowed that. Well, to be right honest, I'd plumb forgot it myself, Grandpap. Yesterday, Dick come over here saying he'd seen her getting on the bus, and I thought sure she was leaving me and Pine Ridge for good. Lord sakes, you mean you plumb forgot about the pigeon-toed teachers meeting and here you are president of the school board? I know it sounds terrible, but I don't know. With all this trouble twixt me and a certain little varmint, I don't know what I'm doing hardly.
If you want my opinions, he never did know what he's doing.
You keep out of this. Grandpap, will you tell Mr. Peabody to mind his own business?
Yeah, be glad to. Mind your own spavined-legged business, Abner. Here, wait a minute. Are you taking up for Mr. Edder's, Grandpap?
No, I ain't taking up for nobody. Well, why ain't you? What have you got against me? I ain't got nothing against nobody. I told you I don't want to get into this mess.
Well, you just be careful how you repeat what Mr. Edders tells you to say to me then.
I ain't going to get mixed up in it.
Yeah, you'll get mixed up in it if you start calling me names. I'll tell you that right now.
Wait a minute. Weren't that your ring a minute ago there? Yeah, but there ain't no use in answering it. See, the phone's divided up, too. The mouthpiece on my half of the store and the crank and receivers on his side. Somehow or other, we just can't get together on a phone conversation. Lord sakes alive. That caused me a lot of trouble yesterday, too. Miss Emmeline tried to call me long distance yesterday to ask why I wasn't down at the bus to see her off, and Abner wouldn't let me talk.
That ain't the truth, Grandpap. He's got the mouthpiece on his side. He can talk all he wants to.
Yeah, but as long as I can't hear the other party, I don't know who I'm talking to or what they're saying or nothing. I finally recollected where Miss Emmeline had went to, so I went over to Dick's store and called her from there. Take me might nigh 45 minutes to patch things up again. Run up a terrible bill, too. I ought to send the bill to Mr. Peabody.
Grandpap, you tell Mr. Edders that if he sends any bills to Mr. Peabody, he's going to get them throwed right back at him with a rock wrapped up inside of them.
Jiminy, I think you fellas ought to answer that phone. It might be a grocery order. Yeah, that's right. Well, maybe we can do it long as you're here to help, Grandpap. It takes 3 people to answer that dead blame thing.
Just a minute. Don't you touch my receiver there.
I ain't going to. Grandpap, tell Mr. Peabody to please hoist the telephone receiver.
Grandpap, tell Mr. Edders that the receiver's done hoisted.
All right. Hello? Jot Em Down Store and Library. Mr. Edders doing the talking. Mr. Peabody doing the listening. All right, Grandpap, ask Mr. Peabody who it is and what they want.
Yes, Mom. Excuse me, I forgot you can't hear me. Grandpap, tell Mr. Edders Miss Barton wants a bucket of lard.
Oh, all right, fine, Miss Barton. And what else? Grandpap, ask Mr. Peabody what else Miss Barton wants.
Grandpap, tell Mr. Edders to tell Miss Barton, uh-huh.
Mr. Edders, tell Miss Barton, uh-huh. Uh-huh. What was that uh-huh for?
Pickles. Oh. How's that, Miss Barton? That's right, doggone, I'm getting all mixed up. Grandpap, tell Mr. Edders to tell Miss Barton to come over that again if Mr. Peabody jumped the track back there somewhere.
Miss Barton, would you mind repeating whatever it was you said right after pickles? See, we got a kind of peculiar arrangement here on the phone. I can talk to you, but I can't hear nothing you're saying.
No, there ain't nothing wrong with his ears. Grandpap, tell Mr. Edders to tell Miss Barton ain't nothing wrong with his ears.
Look, Miss Barton, my ears is all right. It's just that, well, it's too hard to explain it to you. Just give your grocery order to Abner, and he'll write it down.
Why, that old grandpap tell Mr. Edders to tell Miss Barton to go ahead and trade somewheres else. I don't care.
Look, Miss Barton, don't get mad. See, the whole idea is this. Abner, don't hang up. I was talking to her.
I ain't going to stand here and take that sass and not be able to talk back to that old woman.
Jiminy, that's the beatenest phone call I believe I ever listened to in my whole life. Might as well have the contraption taken out of here for all the good it's doing you.
I don't get a minute. There comes a customer. I better get up the front door here and get him over on the right side of the store before he gets on the wrong side and gets cheated.
Who is that feller coming up out there? I don't know. I never seen him before. Sure is short. He hardly as tall as Abner, I don't believe.
Yeah, howdy do, sir. Step right over this way. Get the best prices in town. Anything
Come
you
to
want.
Lum's for fair dealings.
Honest, Abner, come over to Peabody's. That's where you get the best
More
prices.
for your money on this side of the store.
If you don't see it on the shelf, don't buy it. That's my slogan. Right over this way. That's the time. Right over here.
Well,
best prices in town.
Gentlemen, I really hadn't intended to make a purchase of any kind.
Well, regardless of what you want, you can make a better deal on this side. I can tell you that right now.
Well, that's very nice of you, but really, all I wanted was just to make a phone call.
A phone call?
Yes.
Stranger, you don't know what you're letting yourself in for.
Well, I only wanted to use it for a minute. You see, my car has broken down, and I need to call a mechanic. There is a mechanic in town, isn't there?
Yeah, a feller named Douglas. He's got a place right back of Frank Foster's filling station over there.
Oh, that's fine. I wonder if you'd be kind enough to tell me what his exchange is?
Well, he don't exchange things. He just repairs cars, that's all. Now, if you're interested in doing some trading, I'd suggest you go out to Jake's place. It's on the main road right out the edge of town. Got a bunch of used parts out there. You can't miss it.
Well, no, I don't want to do any trading. I just wanted this garage man's telephone number.
Oh, his ring, you mean? It's 2 shorts, a long, and a short.
I beg your pardon?
That's it. 2 shorts, a long, and a short.
I don't quite understand. Don't you have numbers?
Numbers? I don't know what you're talking about. Don't they have telephones where you come from?
Oh, yes, but perhaps you'd be kind enough to call this garage person for me.
No, I think you better do it.
No, I think it would be simpler if you did.
Simpler? That's a laugh.
I really wish you would.
Well, all right, but it ain't going to be easy, I'll tell you that. Come on, Grandpap, you'll have to help. Will you please tell Mr. Peabody to hoist the receiver and ring old man Douglas's? Abner, hoist and ring old man Douglas.
Report to Mr. Edders. I've done hoisted and I'm now ringing.
I say, is this the regulation way to operate a telephone here?
Yeah, in this store it is. Leastways while you got a couple of idiotic old goats running it.
Amazing.
Grandpap, tell Mr. Edders old man Douglas just said hello.
Grandpap, tell Mr. Peabody, all right. Hello, Mr. Douglas. This is Lum Edders. There's a fella here that wants to talk to you. Just a minute. All right, stranger, you can talk into this mouthpiece here if you want to, but I don't know where Mr. Peabody will let you use a receiver or not.
Grandpap, tell Mr. Edders to tell a stranger he can use my receiver any old time he wants to. Here you are, right here, sir.
Oh, thank you very much. But first, tell me, do I talk over it just like an ordinary telephone?
Yeah, sure, just talk right in that little black round thing there. Stand as close as you can. You'll catch on to it.
Well, tell me one thing more. Do I have to start every sentence with Grandpap?
No, that's just betwixt me and Mr. Peabody. You better get started before old man Douglas hangs up on you.
Oh, yes, all right. Hello, Mr. Douglas. This is Dr. Fontaine Grill. I seem to have broken down in my car. Well, I think it's the rear axle. It seems to be in 2 pieces instead of 1. Oh, dear. Will it take that long? Oh, dear. Well, all right. I guess that's the way it'll have to be then. It's in front of the Jot Em Store.
That's the Jot Em Down Store.
All right. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Oh, dear. He says it'll take 10 days to 2 weeks to get a new axle. And I've got to be in Washington Monday morning. I have an appointment.
Jenny, you better get on the train then and just leave your car here.
Yes, I'll have to do that. And perhaps you'd do me another favor?
Sure, I'll be glad to help you any way we can.
I have a box in the back seat of the car, a rather large box. I wonder if you would store it in some safe place until you hear further from me.
Yeah, sure. We'd be proud to keep it for you.
Yeah, we can set it in the feed room back there. That's a good safe place. What's in the box?
What's in the box?
Yeah.
That you must not ask me.
Huh?
Keep the box. Guard it. But do not be curious about its contents. Do not meddle. And one day you shall be rewarded.
Well, now you know when you tell Lum and Abner not to do something, they're going to head to it as fast as they can. But will the promise of a reward keep them on the straight and narrow? We'll have to see. May 3rd, 1945, Lum and Abner here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Thank you so much for making us a part of your day. Would you thank this station and support their advertisers? It's their kindness and courtesy that allow us to be with you here each and every time we roll around on your favorite radio station. By the way, Lum and Abner is made possible by our friend Ted at RadioMemories.com. He supplies programs on cassette, CD, or flash drive for your computer at very reasonable costs. Check it out, Ted at RadioMemories.com. That's RadioMemories.com. And while you're on the web, visit our webpage at classicradio.stream. You can stream our shows on demand. You can also find a list of sites where our shows are available by a podcast. You can find our social media links there. You can also learn about building a classic radio collection of your own. You can find our contact information there. And if you'd like to help us, you can buy me a coffee. If you enjoy our shows, real simple, buy me a coffee. The good part about that is you help us acquire additional classic radio collections and also help us maintain our distribution. That's at classicradio.stream. Have yourself a great day. Tell all your friends the greatest radio shows of all time are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.